Nope, that was the wrong button. Well, welcome, gamers from around the globe. You've dropped in to the best place for Game Pass news. That's right, it's the Game Pass Tracker Show. We might not always hit the right buttons, but hey, we're going to give you the news, that's for sure. This is episode 140, recorded live Tuesday, February 13th. I'm Nick Metzger here with the best dang co-host a guy could ever have, Mr. Sean Abbott. We're going to fill y'all brains with all this week's bits and bobs of Xbox, like Uncle Phil is about to soothe your soul with a comforting update in just 2 days. Interview with the PlateUp dev talks about benefits of Game Pass. And Skull and Bones is $70. Will that basically make it Skull and Bones? You better sit down, buckle up, because Game Pass Tracker Show is one crazy ride.
Yahar, ya lovely sea lovers, and welcome to your favorite Xbox Game Pass podcast, the Game Pass Tracker Show. You can find us on pretty much every social networking site that's out there. For everything, it's at Game Pass Tracker. If you have any thoughts, any questions, don't hesitate to shoot us an email at show@gamepasstracker.com. If you are liking what you are hearing, and we'd love to hear from you, give us a review on your go-to podcast of choice, and stuff like that really helps us grow. Really helps us reach more fans. We wouldn't be a Game Pass show as well if we weren't promoting the big daddy itself, Xbox Game Pass. If you love Game Pass, you love our show, and you want to show some support, head to the link in the description and sign up to Game Pass within the next 24 hours from your Xbox.com website. You'll not only be supporting us, the Game Pass Tracker Show, but you'll also be signing up to the best gaming subscription going, Xbox Game Pass. So sign up to whatever level you desire, whether that be PC Game Pass Core or Game Pass Ultimate. Just play your own way by using the code in the chat. Thank you very much, Nick. Or in the show notes, and help us continue to create this awesome content that we love. So, Nick, without further ado, let's set sail into the Game Pass headlines.
We have made it to the Game Pass headlines out this week, folks. We have starting with Resident Evil 3. Resident Evil 3 available everywhere February 13th. Today, by the way, Jill Valentine is one of the last remaining people in Raccoon City to witness the atrocities Umbrella performed. To stop her, Umbrella unleashes their ultimate secret weapon, Nemesis. Playing as Jill, you must navigate through the chaotic, zombie-infested streets of Raccoon City, stunningly rebuilt using Capcom's proprietary RE engine. Next, tomorrow, we have Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, also available everywhere, coming out on Valentine's Day. Seems like a different one to bring out, but hey, there you go. Bloodstained Ritual of the Moon, returning to the Game Pass library, is an exploration-focused side-scroller action RPG, packing all the best features you've come to know and love from the Metroidvania genre into a single content-packed game. And then the day after that, we get drops every day for the next 3 days. That's pretty amazing. A Little to the Left, February 15th, also everywhere, a cozy puzzle game where everyday messes become pleasing puzzle arrangements. Stack documents, sort postcards, and solve all kinds of puzzles across over 100 levels. Also February 15th, if that wasn't enough, we have PlateUp available everywhere. Again, classic cooking action with permanent roguelite progression. Cook and serve your dishes, design and decorate your restaurants, and expand your culinary kingdom with unlocks, abilities, and dishes. Wow, do we got a load of games coming out this week. Sean is about to hit you with what's coming out next week.
Yeah, that's right. So coming next week, to everywhere, PC, console, and cloud, is Return to Grace. A daring space archaeologist has just unearthed the ancient resting place of a long-lost AI god known as Grace. Adventure with various fractured AI personalities as you uncover the great mystery of why she was shut down all those years ago in this first-person narrative adventure set in a visually stunning 60s retro sci-fi world.
Sweet. All right. And I'm going to hit you with what we got coming out in the next month. Coming soon in the next month, we have nothing, but we do have a few Game Pass. We do have a few Game Pass announcements. So, Inkle Naughty 1.0. You might have played this game if you've been a Game Pass subscriber for a while. It was in game preview, and now it's out. Inkle Naughty won the Best Indie Game and Most Original Game Award at Gamescom in 2022 and started in early access in the Xbox Game Preview program in 2023. So they are going to be coming out. It's a 2D turn-based game. I just realized there's not a lot of information about the game here, but it's a 2D turn-based game that I played a little bit of in game preview, so I'm excited to see what it looks like now. Botany Manor coming out April 9th. It also was announced. Welcome to Botany Manor, a stately home in the 19th century England. You play as inhabitant Arabella Green, a retired botanist. Explore your house and gardens filled with research to figure out the ideal habitat of forgotten flora. Grow each plant to discover the mysterious qualities they hold. And finally, winter 2024. No exact date. Magical Delicacy. In Magical Delicacy, play as Flora, a young witch who has ventured to the beautiful harbor town of Grat in order to grow her magical abilities. Using the power of magic, cook delicious dishes for the townsfolk from a vast array of ingredients you can purchase from local merchants, forage from around the town, or grow in your garden. Customize each dish to your customers' tastes. That's what you got. Look, that's new announcements that are out just this week. Sean, what are we losing this month?
So this month we're losing on February 15th, so the day after tomorrow, basically. Galactic Civilizations free. You're losing it from your PC Game Pass subscription. We talked about this last week. It's if you play the Civilization games with that 4-time turn-based kind of strategy, it's like that, but all set up in space. And then the other game is Opus Echo Star Song. What did we say about this last week?
It looks like a great game. You should check it out before February. I don't know.
Yeah. All I can remember was that it seemed quite interesting. It was a narrative style side-scrolling game. So if you are big into the narrative style games, and as far as I remember, this one is illustrated really well. So the game art for it is fantastic. So yeah, give that one a go.
There you go. If you're interested in any of those two games, you have until February 15th. That's 2 days, folks, to beat them or buy them. You got to buy them before February 16th. So you got until like 11:59 February 15th. If you have a Game Pass sub, you'll get 20% off. So there you have it. Get it done. Sean, what do you think about what we got laying out for us here this week, next week, and in the future?
We have a busy week of games, and they're not like games that you could maybe kind of just quickly brush over and be like, I might not play that. These are 4 pretty heavy games to go out. PlateUp is getting some absolute mad reviews on PC where it is. Where people have had access to it early. A little to the left is also getting some hype as well. People looking forward to that. And of course, Resident Evil 3, running that RE, the new RE engine, is a great game. So you have lots to do. You've got heavy hitters like Resident Evil 3, cozy puzzle games like a little to the left, and couch co-op madness with PlateUp. So you've got everything for everybody there. It's nice.
Yep, that's exactly what I was going to say. You got a ton here. And not only that, but they're covering all spectrums of the gaming sphere. So not much is being left out. I will be trying out a little to the left because I have a bunch of Switch friends. It's been out on the Nintendo Switch for quite a while now. I have a bunch of Switch friends who have played that game and really kind of like it as a chill experience. So I'll be giving that a shot. Definitely be giving PlateUp a shot with my kiddos. Can't wait to play that. And, I might be getting into try this Return to Grace. I also thought it was funny in the game announcements that are coming in the future. You have one game that is about a botany manor where you need to find this forgotten flora and discover its qualities. And then the next game is Magical Delicacy, where you play as Flora. Just thought that was interesting. That's all. Really had nothing. Nothing. It was just made me chuckle when I read it. So
no, I'm actually gonna give Botany Manor a try. I think it sounds quite interesting. So it's something I can play in front of the kiddos and maybe they'll get enticed. So
yeah, that makes sense. Well, that's all my thoughts on what's coming out.
Yeah. So remember, if you're looking for the most up-to-date and clear-cut way of getting your hands on any information about games coming or going to Game Pass, you can follow our X account at Game Pass Tracker. We drop images on there quite regularly about what's coming and discuss it quite openly. And if you want a website that you can go to, you can GamePassNews.com. Follow the website there. That has a really cool layout for how you can see what's currently on Game Pass, what's leaving, and what is coming soon with dates and links to videos.
Sweet. Without further ado, we will head into the X feed. The X feeds where we talk about top stories, news bulletins, and a feature story, which we might be sans of this week, but we'll take care of that next week. So first top story, we talked about what we might want to see and what there might be available last week with this whole business update. But Microsoft announces how they will announce this update, and it's going to be on the Xbox podcast. Sean, how do you feel about that?
I like it because I'm going to be able to listen to it a couple of times, and I am going to have to listen to it a couple of times. I feel that there's going to be things said that might not land straight away because obviously there's going to be, I feel a bit of information to take in as well as a few different voices to follow because we're going to have Sarah Bond's there, Matt Booty, so there's going to be, it's going to be interesting. Mm-hmm. I think it's good because you not getting, they can take as long as they want with a podcast. Right. So, they can either be 45 minutes or they can, like we say every week before we go, let's try and keep this to an hour, and then an hour and a half later we're like, see you later, guys. Mm-hmm. So they can take as long as they want. They might have discussions. There's obviously going to be guidelines and stuff that they can't talk about or talk about into too much depth. But I think it's a really interesting way of doing it. I think it's a really cool way of doing it as well. I think it's a bit of a nod to people like us out there that make podcasts and stuff like that, how we try and deliver the information every week. They're kind of doing the same. So,
yeah, I think, depending on what they have to announce, this, my guess is this is making a whole lot of sense. So if they are indeed, as has been rumored and as likely has been, there's even been rumors about the games that are coming over. So if they're talking about games going over to PlayStation, which we talked about last week, I don't entirely understand why it's as a lightning rod issue for the community as it seems to be. If they're talking about that, the last thing you want to do is a splashy trailer, right? That's like, we're giving your games away. This game, that game, they're all going to PlayStation, and think of all the money we're gonna make. I think they read the room and they were like, yeah, it probably isn't the place to do this. This is the time where Phil and now Sarah Bond and Matt are gonna whisper in your ear while you're doing whatever you're doing, whether you're running on a treadmill or driving to work or at work, and they're gonna tell you, hey, listen, it's all good. Like, don't worry, I got a business update for you. Some of it's going to seem weird, but let me just tell you why we're doing it, and let me tell you why it's going to all be okay for our Xbox community. That's the tone I think they're going to take in it. That's why I think they want to do it this way. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking now. I think the official Xbox podcast as well I think it's a video one on YouTube. So there's every possibility that it is just going to be a video of those guys sat there talking in some kind of studio style environment. So,
I think that's totally it.
I don't think we're going to get, unless they do, they might cut to some like VTs and stuff like that to show us videos about what they're meaning and things like that. So there is that element of it, the post production. But yeah, I'm interested. I'm just interested to see when it happens. So.
Yeah, I am very interested to see as well what happens. I am excited for the future, and like I said, I could get into all the stuff, but we talked about it last week. So I will say that there was two. There was a somewhere between a leak and a rumor. Okay, that the first two games that Xbox that they think might go over to PlayStation is Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment, which, I mean, if those leaks/rumors are true, then that seems pretty legit. I mean, that those are pretty that's pretty low-hanging fruit to start with, I guess I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, people were all worried about Starfield, but Starfield's a Bethesda game, so that's not really a huge thing. Where Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment are both, Microsoft Studio games, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I mean, I think I could see Starfield making it there. Just taking start with the low stuff, start with the easier stuff, and then kind of maybe work your way up. So, but those are the two games.
Yeah, and if you want to catch that podcast, you can do. It's going to air at 12 p.m. PT, 3 p.m. ET, or if you're like me and you're on GMT, it's 8 p.m. GMT. So, I'm going to probably miss that because I'm going to be just doing my first lot of rounds at work, but I will be able to catch up with it pretty quick after that. So, yep. And like Nick said, we will absolutely cover everything in depth in next week's podcast episode, where we're going to have a bit of time to digest everything and take it in and kind of talk about it.
Yep. But if you want up-to-date action, no doubt our Game Pass Tracker X account will keep you up to date on all the stuff you ever need to know about this shindig. So you can always go there for in-the-moment things. But then, yep, we'll get it. We'll give you an in-depth deal when the time comes. So that is all the announcements we have on the business update. Can't wait to hear more about that. As I stated, Skull and Bones is a $70 game, and actually, I meant to bring up that article. Skull and Bones is a $70 game, and I have an article about it, but I didn't get to it. Here we go. A lofty price tag of $70. This is from a gamesradar.com. Skull and Bones' journey to store shelves has been anything but smooth sailing, and if you're planning on finally setting sail on this high seas adventure, it's going to cost you no less than $70. I feel like we knew this as I'm reading it now. Did they already announce that it was going to be a $70 game?
No.
No? Okay.
They didn't announce it was going to be a $70 game, but why I can't understand why that shocks us so much when most games are $70 at you.
Well, yeah. I think what people were seeing in this game was a like a battle royale. It's not a battle royale. What? A massively multiplayer online game. So an MMO.
Okay.
And they were thinking, hey, some MMOs are cheaper, some are even free, and I think they were wondering if that was going to be this, and it's not. And Ubisoft never, as I understand, never said it was going to be. Who is this? The CEO of Ubisoft, Yves Guillemot. I think, sorry if I slaughtered that. You will see, defending his $70 price tag for this game, you will see that Skull and Bones is fully fledged game. It's a very big game, and we feel that people will really see how vast and complete that game is. It's a really full, triple, quadruple A game that will deliver in the long run. This is, how many A's are we going to start putting behind stuff? I mean... Listen, what we got out here is an octuplet A game. Let me tell you, there's at least 8 A's behind this baby for sure. Like, okay, whatever. So yeah, I mean, I agree. It was kind of like what people's expectations for what the game could be, or what they thought the price tag should be before they probably even saw the game, which isn't fair. But that's what it is. It is what it is. And so now they're trying to defend their $70 price tag.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the game started development in 2013 and it's only just kind of been able to play it as a beta, in 2024 says a lot for. Well, I'm assuming they've got to pay for everybody that's done that work in that time period. So that's a 10-year time period, where you've potentially not had much revenue coming in yet. You've been absolutely hammering all the hard work to try and make a quadruple A game. But I don't know. I haven't played it, so I can't comment on it. I mean, all I can do is reflect other people's words, and if people are out there saying that this isn't worth paying a full $70 for, then there must be reasons. There must be stuff that those people have seen, those people have felt while playing the game that they're not happy about. So
I was trying to find out because between the 8th and the 11th, so the time is done. So you could have, and we reported on this in our last podcast. So from the 8th to the 11th, there was free to play. Well, free to play is not the right way to say it. There was open beta testing for Skull and Bones at that time, and I kind of bummed I missed that. But
yeah.
So
I missed it because I had too much on it, and then the kids have been off, so I haven't had time to really get to anything that I couldn't play in front of them, and B, needed to concentrate on playing. So, but no, I wish I'd have been able to get to it, because then I'd have had a better opinion on the game. So unfortunately, my reflection is just what other people are saying, which to me isn't a true reflection of the game. So.
Yeah, no, and it's not the reflection we want to give you guys. But I mean, I'll say this. They need a demo for this game. That would be my opinion, especially if you're an Xbox player. If you're an Xbox player, you're sitting here saying, well, I got Sea of Thieves for the price of my Game Pass subscription. So, I mean, maybe it would be awesome to pay $70 for Skull and Bones. Maybe I'd pay it in a heartbeat. I'd be like, oh my gosh, this game is just totally different and more dynamic, and it comes at being a pirate in a different angle. And yes, here's my $70, Ubisoft. But listen, if I'm going to do that, I saw a lot of the old game footage. I haven't seen much new stuff, but a lot of the old game footage for Skull and Bones. Looking at that, I'm like, I'm not really interested in paying $70 for that game. Now, that was almost a year ago that they were showing that all off, or I don't know, 8 months, something like that. So I don't know, maybe it's a lot better now, and maybe a lot of stuff has changed, and I'm sure it has, and so they need to throw out some new game footage, I think, but I also think they need a demo somehow. However, you got to slice that to get a feel of this game. I think they need to let people get that feel before they're gonna plunk down $70. It's a lot of money to plunk down for something. So,
yep, it is, and that's what a lot of people are saying in this, is that the initial play of the game, are saying that like a $30 price tag would have been fair, 40 maybe. But if you run it as a free-to-play model, and then have like battle passes and seasonal events and an in-game currency and stuff like that, like Epic do with pretty much all their games, you'd probably make similar money to it, because people would be able to play the game, and they see that their only investment so far is their time rather than their money, and then be able to they get into it, they get interested, they see that there's a seasonal thing and maybe a battle pass, and be like, oh, I'm actually really enjoying this game, and I want the additional items that I can get with a season pass. So, I don't mind putting $9.99 down for a season pass, as long as the content keeps coming and things like that. But the other side of it is, if it's $70 and they're turning around and saying, hey, every time we bring something new out, you just automatically get it, or you get the ability to get it by playing the game to get to this point, then that's fair enough. They're kind of trying to set, if we price it at 70 and we get 2 million people playing the game, that's quite a bit of money we can make back, so we can carry on developing. So
yeah, that is actually, Sean, that is a fantastic point. So if it's $70 and there's not a battle pass, and they keep doing exactly what you're saying, or a season pass, or a battleship pass, or whatever the hell they're going to call it, then yeah, I think there's really an argument to be made there. But whoo boy, if you pay $70 and they start throwing on season passes, then you're really going to light this community on fire. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know how this game plays out, if there's an update schedule, if there's a roadmap for the game, as they all like to say. But yeah, that'll be an interesting...
A C chart.
The what?
A C chart rather than
yeah, there'll be a C chart for the game. You're totally right. Yeah, that'll be a very interesting thing to watch how that plays out for this game. Because if you pay $70 and then in 3 months they're like, do you want the next lot of stuff? Pay $15 for the Battleship Pass and look at our C chart. There's going to be an update every year and you get to pay $25. Yeah, people are going to they're going to light up on fire. So yeah, I think they need to answer those questions for these people that they're wanting to pay that money, though. Is there ever going to be that we're going to? I don't know. I think that's a great point.
I mean, the other thing that they could do this worries me if we're going to go down to the realm of digital-only media when it comes to games and things like that. They need to alter the refund policy, because somebody might pay $70 for this, play it. Because obviously, most refunds are like if you play 2 hours, if you play more than 2 hours of the game, then you can't get a refund on it. So, for a game as big as Skull and Bones, and for you to get a comfortable feel for it, you're going to have to play for more than 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're still not, after 4 or 6 hours, still not happy with the game and the content that's in the game that you paid for, and you've paid $70, there's no way you can get that money back if you've gone digital only. So,
yeah, it's a great point. Well, it'll be interesting to see as Skull and Bones is. I should know this. We just talked about it forever. It comes out real soon, right? Like this week. Watch it be out. It's like it came out yesterday. About to find out.
It should have.
No. February 16th. I was really sweating bullets there. I was waiting for it to be like February 11th, and I'm like, oh shit. So 3 days. 3 days it comes out. When is that? Yeah, Friday. This Friday, you'll be playing that game. So somebody will be. Probably not me at the moment, but somebody. So there you go. Sean, do you know anything about this interview with this PlateUp dev?
So yes, this Mr. His name was Alistair. There we go. So Alistair Hans van Rensburg, who is the game's core developer, and Simon Bryan, the managing director, the publisher for Yogscast Games. They sat down with Pure Xbox. They had a to and fro kind of conversation, and it was interesting. Pure Xbox congratulated PlateUp's success on PC, and asked has the success has the success made them more cautious about bringing the game to consoles and convert it to a whole new audience, and if the team is infused about potentially gaining a huge new player base. And they answered it. It was they were very excited. They were, especially the first time doing anything like this, the parallels and differences to the PC launch are very interesting. There's a lot more overhead bringing games to console, which makes it a bit more nerve-wracking. And updating the game has been really successful on PC, so they'd like to keep it up going forward on all platforms. So Pure Xbox then went on to ask, on the Xbox side of things, PlateUp is bringing its console version to Game Pass on day one. Was that an easy decision for you to make, and how has the whole process been working with Microsoft? I love Alice's answer to this, and this is what we've talked about this several times about small publishers and developers having such a great time with Microsoft and Game Pass. So definitely an easy choice. For my first game, PlateUp has been a massive success, and I'm keen to bring it to as many players as possible. And Game Pass is an obvious way to let as many players as possible experience the game. It's been overwhelming to see the reception it's had on PC, and I hope that the console players enjoy it as much as our PC players have. Bringing the game to Xbox has been a pretty smooth process overall. For my next game, I'd probably do a few things differently when making the game, but thankfully there haven't been any major hiccups.
Sweet.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. who approached who when it came to handling the game to Game Pass. Simon, the other half of the two that were being interviewed. He says he's worked with Game Pass team since it launched, so he's been seeing them sell. He's seen the benefits for having a game in the service quite often. Even before PlateUp launch, we could see a highly engaged community, one which would play the game for extraordinary amounts of time during the pre-release playtests. So they were really keen to get the game into the hands of as many people as possible. So Game Pass needed a natural fit, and Microsoft, and thankfully Microsoft's game, they've been incredibly supportive during the development. I can't wait to see what other players make of it at launch. So, that article is all there to read. It's quite high up in pure Xbox's thing. It's just I like bringing these to our attention because I like the positiveness, because we brought ones up in the past which people have had negative experience with Game Pass about not being paid, right? So, but we've had more positive reactions to working with Microsoft and for Game Pass than we have had negative, and it's nice to see. It's nice to see that small publishers and developers like that can go ahead and make games, and PlateUp looks like it's going to be a fantastic game. It's a really good spin on the couch co-op cooking madness like you do with Overcooked. Just not I don't know, it still looks as absolutely nuts as it does, but just obviously a different game for it. So.
Yeah, like I said, I'm super excited about it. I'm happy that it's always good when developers have a good time, that they have a smooth sailing with Xbox, so that it brings other developers into the fold, makes them feel more comfortable in doing that. So yeah, I'm happy to hear that. For our news bulletins, Xbox has unveiled that Microsoft Flight Simulator will have a Dune expansion, which is very cool. I probably won't get to it, but there you go. Also, Xbox has unveiled that they have made it so that while you're playing a game downloads much faster than it did in the past. We got a tweet here from Idle Sloth. He says, usually games download at 480 megabytes with no game running. Now games are down, but while a game downloads, they were only downloading at about 40 to 80 megabytes per second. Now that's been up to 380 megabytes a second. So basically, you can download a game, and while you're playing a game, that game will still download at like 380 megabytes per second, only 100 less than normal, whereas before it was anywhere between 40 and 80. And I concur. I mean, I didn't know the exact numbers, but I knew that was a thing that was going on with me. If I was downloading something and playing something, it wasn't downloading very fast. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm happy that they've done that, because it's often that like I'll find a Game Pass game that I'm excited to play, and I'll go to it thinking, this can't be too bad in size, and then I'll get to it and it's like 14 gig, and I'm like, that's going to take like half an hour. So while that's downloading, I'll go and play another game, and I'll come back in half an hour's time, and I'm like, nah, there's still 25 minutes to go.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. For sure. But I will say, whether playing a game, not playing a game, I've appreciated my Xbox and how quick it downloads Fortnite updates for my time in Lego Fortnite. That has gone much quicker than waiting for the Switch. So, sorry, kids. So that's our X feed, man. We don't have a feature story this week. We will have, I'm sure, a lot to say about everything that Phil, Matt, and Sarah say in the podcast next week. So we will give you a double scoop then for that. But now we are on to the dashboard. The dashboard's where we talk about all the games that we're playing, that we're going to be playing, and that are on their docket to play sometime soon. Sean, what is on your dashboard?
So I have been playing. I played 2 games. One of them is a Game Pass game. The other one is not a Game Pass game. So we'll go with the one that is not a Game Pass game first. I've been playing Fortnite. When I say Fortnite, I mean the Battle Royale PvP style Fortnite.
Yeah.
I fired it up this morning, and I was like, I'm going to play a little bit of this. I think Logan was playing Among Us on his Switch, and Emily was doing some drawing. So So obviously their attention, as soon as I fired the TV up and I was playing Fortnite, their attention suddenly went from what they were doing to what I was doing.
Isn't that spectacular?
Yeah, it is. So then I had to download. It's a weird thing. There was an update for Fortnite, and it wouldn't do it on Logan's Switch because it needed 14 gigabyte to do it. So I had to delete the game and reinstall the game for him to be able to play. But that took 45 minutes. So while he was doing that, me and Sis or Emily we played some duo matches. We won one of the duo matches, which was quite cool. Then we lost a couple, and then by the time we'd lost a couple, Logan was ready to join us. So we fired in. He, for his first time of ever playing Battle Royale and PvP style, the first match was a lot of Logan, no, come this way. Hey, Logan, no, this is what you got to do. Press this button, do this. Here, drink this potion, like drink this shield potion, use this medipack kind of thing. And we carried him quite a lot in the first game. The second game, he kind of had an idea of what he was doing. There was a couple of issues in terms of I don't think he realized the storm cloud issue in that one. So we had to do a rescue with him in the storm cloud, which involved me driving the car like into the storm cloud, picking him up and driving out. And then in the third game, he got his own elimination. He went off and he found somebody and he took them out, and he was quite happy about that.
That's awesome.
But for each of the three games we played, we got a victory royale for each one. So
dang,
good fun.
That's so cool, man.
Yep.
Way to go. That's so. What got you back in? Oh, because you were waiting for him to get his download done. Is that what put you in? What got you on Fortnite?
I saw that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle skins were available. They got all that content, so I wanted to see if that was just in the Battle Royale stuff, or if that was transferring across to like the car racing and things like that. And it's not. It's all just in the Battle Royale.
Gotcha.
Though, if you do unlock the skins in Battle Royale, you can use them in the Lego Fortnite, and you look like little Lego turtles.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yep,
that's fun.
So I hovered over buying the bundle for a while. I was like, ooh, it's like 3,400 V-Bucks. And I was like, how much is that to buy in real money? I was $27.99. I was like, Epic, you are so good, but not that good. So,
that's funny.
I've had fun with it. I played some solo before we came on. I managed the last match before we kind of set up to start recording. I got into the top 5, and that was a ranked match as well. So
sweet,
yeah,
sweet.
And then the game that I've been playing, which is a Game Pass game, is It Takes Two. So I've seen a lot of TikTok videos of like couples playing It Takes Two together, and like a bit of humor around like the female of the couples like not being able to do all the jumping parts and stuff, and they kind of like put nice funny music to it while the boyfriend's kind of sat there and left the controller idle. So like the guy, I can't remember his name now, in It Takes Two starts like kind of dancing around, or he sits down and he's just twiddling his thumbs and stuff like that. So I suggested we try it. It was a lot of fun. A lot of anxiousness for Lindsay in terms of having to learn the buttons, and lots of, especially the two bosses that we went up against. So we did the vacuum cleaner and the toolbox.
Okay.
And there was lots of mean words said towards the toolbox for definite. but no, she had fun. She doesn't like the book. It was just a good laugh. We sat on the sofa together and played some games. It was nice. It's not very often we do that. We usually play things like Mario Party and Mario Kart with the kids. So
sure.
It was good for us to do it.
That's fun. Yeah, I remember the hammer. Like you had one was the hammer and one was the nail or something like that. How did that?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what? We never tried to see if we could hammer or nail each other.
Oh, yeah. I guess not. Can you?
And you can.
Okay.
You can. Like Lindsay was like, I just want to try something. She walked up behind me and hit me with a hammer and just like hammered me into the floor. I was like, okay. So then as she was walking away, I was like, I wonder if this works. Yeah, you can nail him to the floor.
That's great. Yeah, that game is spectacular. I will never forget when we were just like, yeah, we'll play an hour of this, and then that pretty much took up our entire like extra life stream. That was fun.
Yeah, we played for an hour and a half. So I think we streamed 45 minutes of it, but we played an hour and a half. So
Well, I hope you make it to the sad point where you have to like drag the poor whatever it was.
oh, I'm waiting for that. I told her that it gets interesting at one point with the storyline.
Yeah, you gotta make it at least that far. That was awful but great all at the same time. Anything else for you, man? What's on your docket if you're not playing anything else?
Once the kids are back at school, Resident Evil 3.
Okay.
Probably some more Fortnite, and then a little to the left.
Sure.
That's about it until Botany Manor.
Gotcha. Yeah, so for me, I have been playing Lego Fortnite. I think we now have everything. We've updated the bench as far as it can go. We've crafted all the stuff. We've done all the things. The only thing, so now we have to try to get into the frozen biome. That's like the next. So I say we've crafted all the things. What I mean by that is we've built all the crafting tables and all that that are available. And we've upgraded the bench and we've upgraded our town to the max. So now we need to go out and build the things we need so that we can get into the frozen biome and get kind of the final resources and do that thing. So I'm excited to get that done. Life has been crazy with birthday parties and all work stuff and everything. So we actually haven't put a whole bunch of time into that. On the side, I was kind of looking, to be honest, there's not like, I mean, there's a lot coming out and a lot on Game Pass, but nothing was like really drawing me. I was trying to figure out. I hovered over Valhalla for a bit and I thought, no, I don't really want to do this. And so then I passed over that and I found Figment and I looked it up and it's like a 5-hour jaunt. Man, it's so far has been a fun game. It has like little bits of Psychonauts in it. Like you're in this brain, something happens, it kind of starts you off on a car ride, there's an accident, and then you're like this weird, I think you're Courage. Is that what you are? I think that's what you are. And like you're just like sitting there and then all of a sudden and you're kind of lazy, like you haven't done anything in a long time. And then all of a sudden something comes up and is like, hey, the nightmares are back. You need to figure out and do this. And so you kind of have to get back into form as Courage and fight these like nightmares, which are all different kinds of looking creatures. And you're going to different parts of the brain as you move along. And it's kind of like a 3/4 top-down type thing. There's little puzzles to be solved. Simple like swinging heavy swing, light swing, axe, and a dodge roll. I mean, so it's that kind of a game. But it was fun, and if it's only a 5-hour jaunt, as How Long to Beat says it is, then I'll probably see it through to an end. Won't take too long. And so the story, I want to see what happens with the story, because whatever happened with this car crash that happens in the very beginning, I'm not spoiling anything. It's literally like you can't play the game until you see it. I think you're trying to like get this person back. Something happened to them in this deal, and you're trying to like get the nightmares out so that you can do that. But yeah, it reminds me of like all the enemies you fight in Psychonauts. Like I can't think of any of them at the moment, but like the rejection guy, and all those with the stamp. And so it has that kind of a feel to it. So those are the two games I have been playing. On my docket really will be the 15th. I'll certainly give A Little to the Left a shot, and then the kids and I will definitely play PlateUp. So that's what I'm looking forward to for this week for sure. Anything else for you on your
you guys played you guys played Overcooked quite often, didn't you, as a group?
Yeah, we had
so it'd be interesting. interesting to get your input and opinion on how that plays compared to Overcooked 2, because I think that's what people are going to be comparing this to all the time.
Definitely. And I like the idea of like roguelite progression, but that there is progression. So I'm interested to see if, like, you know how it is with me with these games. If we have to start from the very beginning every time, then you're probably going to lose me because it's just like a little too tedious. But if there's like little bits of progression, little things you can do, which it sounds like there is, to make it better, easier the next run, then I could see myself being in on it. So that's me for this week.
Awesome. Don't know what else to say. I can't. I'm gonna play more Fortnite. I almost bought the Battle Pass this evening. Almost.
We're gonna keep you up. We're gonna keep you up to date, folks. I have a feeling this Battle Pass is gonna be bought by the time we podcast next. But could be wrong.
My issue is the Battle Pass doesn't get you access to the event. So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles event that's going on at the moment is separate from the Battle Pass. If it was linked in, then I'd have dropped that by now. But
Gotcha. All right, well, let's talk about some party chat stuff and hang out with listeners for a little bit before we call this thing a night. We're here, Sean. We had some serious technical issues. I had trouble finding buttons. We are at the party. There we go. Okay, there's your party chat intro audio. Maybe next time. I was just rad because I really like that one, but we'll figure it out.
There's more gremlins.
Yeah.
Things update at your end, and then we have like several small issues.
Well, to be fair, that one is a gremlin. The other ones were just me not pushing the right buttons. I love to just blame it all on the Stream Deck, but that one seems to be a gremlin. The other one, totally me. I just hit the intro button and I was like, oh wait, that's the wrong button. It's not time for that yet. So anyways, we're here like it's the great Valentine's Day. We're both married. Like, what are you Valentine's in it out? Are you taking Lindsay out somewhere?
We did that. No, we did that this evening. So I how do we do this? When you get married, it's really weird. You get to a point sometimes where it's like, oh yeah, what do you want me to buy you? And she's like, oh, I don't know what I want to get you. I don't know what I want from you. And I was like, well, is there anything you've been wanting? And she's like, yeah, I've kind of like, she showed me the website, she showed me shoe, and she's like, I've really kind of wanted to get these, but they're like, like £80. I was like, right, okay, so we'll use we have a joint savings account, so I was like, just use the joint savings account, buy them straight out of there because you've got access to that, and class that as for me, and then when I get paid at the end of the month, what I'll do is I'll just top that up, I'll put that back in.
Sure.
It's as easy as that. So she's got some docs that are coming tomorrow. And then this evening, we've been out this evening and we've gone to we were going to go and have the unlimited pancakes.
Yep.
But there was a to and fro on Facebook Live between Lindsay and the restaurant that we were going to. And we didn't end up going. Let's just put it that way. It wasn't as advertised. We were expecting to be able to go, and it was going to be unlimited pancakes where like you could put all your own toppings on and stuff like that. And it wasn't like that. So we went somewhere else instead. We went to a place called Panda Mama or Mammy, which is a bit of a restaurant chain. It's like a world food, all you can eat buffet kind of thing. So we went there. Like we had this idea, we wanted a limited amount of food that we could eat for a price in our head, so we went there instead. Which it was really nice, good food, and that was kind of like our Valentine's Day kind of thing done.
Nice, that's cool. Well, when your kid's birthday's on Valentine's, it makes it a little bit more difficult. But so we're going to celebrate Noah's birthday tomorrow. Again, he had his big birthday party with his friends on Saturday, which we don't do those all the time, but it's his 10th birthday, so he got a bigger birthday party. And then and then we got to find a time. We got to find a time to get out and just kind of celebrate Valentine's Day between the two of us. So we were talking about that. We're not sure when it's going to be and how that's going to roll. But we got to do something. You're right. I didn't do great with the Valentine's present this year. I'm not gonna lie. I got a little
I have
time.
a card. I need to go downstairs and write it because obviously having, when you live together, when you're married, it's kind of hard to find the time to write stuff. So I was like, I've got to stop up till late to do the podcast, so I could go downstairs and I can get it written before I go to bed, which is cool.
Yeah. You listen. If you're not married and you're like, you guys suck. Let me tell you, it's harder than you might think. Okay, I'm gonna lay it out there for you. Okay, it legitimately is. So yeah. But I'm not really sure what we're gonna do or where we're gonna go. But we're gonna do something. We're excited. I know she's really excited for Christmas. This is not a Valentine's present, but for Christmas, she's going to go see Lauren Daigle. We're going to go see Lauren Daigle. So that was a big thing. We got pretty cool seats for that too. So I know that's an exciting. She's super excited about that, but we got to do something for Valentine's Day. Can't just let it slide. That's the thing you can't do. If you're married or not married, let me give you that tip. Don't just let these things slide because then it just happens. And you're like, oh, hey, who cares? We did it once. So don't do that. That's my old man grandpa married tip for you.
Yeah, don't let it go. I start work. I start nights tomorrow night. So I'll probably get up with the kids in the morning. Leave Lindsay to have a little bit of extra sleep. And then we're gonna go to the gym together. Then when we get back from the gym, I'm gonna go back to bed to sleep. So it's kind of like, that's why we've done everything today for Valentine's rather than tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to do it on the same day all the time. Life happens, stuff happens, kids happen. But just find a time. So to get back on the video game chat, Bruce had, just being Bruce, who's in our chat. Thank you very much, Bruce. Bruce had left us a message that said he thinks that, going back to our conversation about what'll happen in the business update from last week, he left us a message. He says Xbox will change their name and lose the box in Xbox because they will not have any boxes to play on. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it'll just be like the X?
No, because you can't do that because of the social media platform.
Oh, yeah, you can't. You're right. Yeah, you should.
But
it's totally true. X Games? No, there's an X Games already. You can't do that too. What would it be called? X what? I mean, the premise of what he's saying, I'm totally down with. But yeah, what do you call it? You can't call it X. Elon already stole it. Stupid Elon. I'm just kidding. I don't care. If you love Elon, please. It's not. I really don't care. I'm just joking.
I'm gonna go with X Pass.
X Pass? Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that means they can keep the X symbol, which is,
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Whatever they do, they have to keep the X so that they can keep that. That logo is ubiquitous. So Bruce is saying they just go to X Cloud. That's what which, they own that. I mean, that's theirs. They could certainly do that. Yeah, but do we think they're going to have some type of device though, right? I mean, they're going to have a stick or a box, like a streaming cube of some sort, right? Right?
Right? See, this is where I'm not sure. This is where I'm not sure. You have applications. So you can have an application on a TV, you can have an application on your laptop, you can have it on your tablet, your mobile. You can have it on different stuff. Like I can have it on my VR headset. It's probably going to be something that comes to the Apple Vision Pro in terms of augmented reality or face tech.
Oh man!
So
don't make me get it.
Why would you need to make a console? They could I mean, they shut down the rumor about third-party console builders taking over, but like there is nothing stopping them from outsourcing that to handheld devices made by other companies, which allow you to get onto xCloud.
Now, to be fair, since we kind of got ourselves here, I have read that there was a Tuesday town hall for Xbox employees where Phil did say they have no plans to get out of making hardware anytime soon. So I don't know if that's 100% verified that is what he said or how he said it, but that's I did read an article about that.
Yeah.
So
to kind of shut this down a little bit, because everything's all speculation.
Oh,
we
totally.
did a lot of speculation last week. We have 2 days to wait. Like this time in 2 days, we will have all the information that they are willing to give us, so we can make more speculation on top of all that information. Yeah.
So we do have Temp7 says, hi, you reckon they're going to lower the hardware and just make handheld and the Project Keystone, which is the box, right? That's the box. That's the little streaming deck box.
That was the thing that everybody lost their minds about when Phil took that selfie in his office and there was like tiny little white thing behind it. That was Project Keystone. I can see it. I can see them looking at focusing on a handheld kind of device as well as Project Keystone, but I still feel they're going to go out with one big like double barrel bang and make a huge like 8K super ultra HD kind of 120 hertz kind of machine, basically a PC but with console capabilities.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think they need to do another one. I mean, I can appreciate the want for one, but I don't think they will. I really think that whatever they're going to do next, they're going to do next. And it's going to be, I could see the Keystone, but Sean, we have this bet hanging out from day 2 of Game Pass News. No, maybe not day 2, but literally season 1 of Game Pass News, back when we were Game Pass News. We had a bet that this project, Sean said it was going to have a hard drive. And I was like, you are not having no hard drive. And so we had, I don't even remember what we bet, though. That's the problem. I don't remember what the terms were anymore.
Didn't I say, when I have to go watch the episode, but didn't I say that I'd pay for 3 months of Game Pass?
I think that was it. Yeah, whoever was right would pay for the. If this is the case, if all they have is Project Keystone and a handheld, then son of a gun, Sean, I'm thinking you're right. Like if that's like when I thought they were going to have an Xbox in Project Keystone, I was like, there ain't no way they're going to have a hard drive in that. That would be silly. They have the S. They don't need that. But if they're pushing those to the side and it's just Project Keystone, then yeah, they're probably going to do one of those little flat sticky things and it's going to have, half a gig or something like that so you can download games into it. Like, because they got to have something to download games into. Otherwise, the store's useless. So... and I don't think they're ready to go that far. I don't think they're ready to just be a streaming platform. They want you to be able to download games. So yeah, man.
Yeah, I can't.
That bet is in trouble for me.
I can't see them being a streaming only platform in this time. But in 10 years' time, like Bruce has just said, like in 10 years' time, I can see them coming away from console hardware.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that? I mean, so the handheld thing is interesting. I said last episode. I don't know. I don't know if handheld's the way to go anymore. Like that boat was. Nintendo jumped on the boat before it got to the dock. Now I feel like the boat's at the dock and is getting ready to leave. And if you jump on it now, you might miss the boat altogether and end up in the water. Like, I just feel like they need to. Yeah, I went all in on that analogy, Sean.
Thing is, with the thumbnail for this video this week, and the title and Skull and Bones, I think we've had a pretty nautical themed.
That's true.
Just laughing into that.
Yeah, that is funny. I just think like Bruce is saying, it's just too saturated. Like, I think they need to figure out how to get Nintendo to agree to get some form of Xbox Game Pass on their device. Like what do you got to do, Phil? Like sit down with them and figure it out, because I think making a handheld of their own and trying to break into a market that Nintendo has a wrangle on for the last 6 years, 7 years, and doing it in a year when Switch 2 is going to come out. Like, if they would have had the handheld drop last year, they probably could have wrangled away part of the market, because they would have had the top end. Everybody was kind of getting a little tired. The Switch was feeling old. But, man, to do it now, Switch 2 comes out. If Switch 2 is a banger, I don't see it. I just don't. I think they need to find a way to get their stuff on somebody else's handheld, specifically Nintendo's, because that's who's got it.
The only thing I'll say with the handheld is if they can figure out a way to make a handheld at a price that matches like the Switch and the Switch 2, that has an OLED screen, a decent hard drive built in, ergonomically comfortable to hold. So like we're talking like almost the power of a Steam Deck, but without the price tag of a Steam Deck. If they can do that, then I feel that they would be able to compete with the Switch in terms of having people purchase it, because I love my Switch, but it's good for playing Mario, Zelda, and games that are in that kind of genre and that kind of mindset. So like kid-friendly style games. I do not purchase or have games for the Switch that are what I class as my Xbox style games. So like Resident Evil, Fortnite. I wouldn't play Fortnite on the Switch just because it's so slow. But those style games are what I go and play on the Xbox. If I want to play Mario Kart, I want to play those games, the IPs that are on the Switch, it handles those perfectly, and it's so good for that. So if you can make a handheld that performs playing those bigger games like the Steam Deck does, but is priced around the Switch price, I feel that you would be able to corner the market in terms of those style games that you can play via handheld.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if anybody's got the ability to kind of take the losses up front to get part of the market share, it's Microsoft. So maybe they can sit there long enough to make a banger of a handheld. And there are a lot of people, like what Bruce is saying here. He bought Mortal Kombat for the Switch and was burnt by it because it was pretty janky on the Switch at first. I don't know if it's any better now, but yeah. And there are other games like that came out pretty rough on the Switch. So yeah, there might be a sect, a demographic of gamers that fall in that category that might say, sure, I'll jump on an Xbox handheld. So, maybe I just feel like it's, and something else Bruce says here, which I find interesting. He said, what if Nintendo's new Switch 2.0 is Xbox compatible? What if it was? He joked at it, but what if it was Xbox compatible? I mean, it's going to have newer specs. I don't know.
We shall see. Well, like we said, everything at this point is a complete what if, because we don't know the full details of the Switch 2 because that's only rumors that have gone flying around. We don't know what's going to happen as of Friday because it's only rumors and speculation of things that are going around. So it's interesting. It's a very uncertain time to be an Xbox gamer, I believe. And I'd go as far as to say is, given the next couple of years, I think it's a pretty uncertain time for a console gamer altogether. Like, what direction's everybody going to go in?
Yeah. To some extent, I agree with that. I would back that up. I would agree with you. But I would say this: it's an uncertain time to be an Xbox owner for the Xbox community. But if you keep an open mind, it is certainly going to be a hell of a ride and a lot of fun, because Xbox ain't going anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So just keep an open mind with what you're doing, what we're doing, what Phil's doing, and you're gonna have a real fun ride. And you're gonna see Xbox, I think, gain a ton of share in this market. So it's uncertain. Like if you're holding a tight grip on your Xbox of 2010, then this is gonna be rough on you, my friend. Okay, probably gonna be a little rough on you. But if you can just keep an open mind and enjoy the ride, I think you're gonna get to the end and be like, "Oh hell yeah! Look at us! Look where we are!" You know. So that's what I would say.
What they've been building here hasn't been an overnight thing. I think this has been slowly coming since 2017, since they launched Game Pass. I think they had a business model linked around Game Pass, and they're at the pinnacle of where they want to be with it, and they are taking the next steps to get for that. And I think, like you say, it's going to be a strange ride. There's going to be things. They are going to do things that don't feel quite right and feel different because it's new. But I wholeheartedly believe that they are taking everything in the right direction, and like they did when the original Xbox came out, it's gonna like redefine how things happen. So
yep, I completely agree. Hey, with that, I got nothing more to add. That was a great wrap.
Yep, that's pretty cool. Always, if you want to get in touch with us, you can hit up the email with show@gamepasstracker.com. If you want to get in touch with myself on X, that's Sean_Abbott. And if you want to get in touch with my awesome co-host, that is Nick 10DOH. That's our personal Twitter accounts. If you want to get in touch with the Game Pass Tracker team, you can do. That is at Game Pass Tracker across all social networking platforms. Keep your eyes peeled for all the information coming to our X channel on Friday as the podcast happens, and look forward to delving deep into all the information next time. So thanks very much for listening, guys, and until next time, we shall see you later.
Adios, guys.